Good morning, students. Once again today I welcome all of you in English lecture. Last lecture we have started 2.5. Title of 2.5 is Father Returning Home from section 2, and this one is a poem. Students, in the earlier lecture we have discussed about the first stanza from the poem. Here in the first stanza, poet depicts the picture of his father when he returning back at his home from his workplace, and he worked at late evening at his workplace, and now he was returning to his home by train. And in a train he has to face number of problems and difficulties. Poet has described those problems and difficulties in the first stanza which we have discussed yesterday. Today we turn towards the second stanza from the poem. Now here I am going to read the line and then I explain that particular line. First, home again, I see him drinking weak tea, eating a stale chapati, reading a book. Now the second stanza of the poem, from Father Returning Home, depicts the isolation of his father in his own home. Now father reached at his home. Father reached at his home and he started to drink weak tea. See, that was not a strong tea. It was just an weak tea, and he ate a stale chapati. Stale, as I have told you yesterday, shiri puri. He ate that stale chapati and then started reading a book. But he never complained about stale chapati, or he never complained about that weak tea which he has in his house. Then he sees him drinking weak tea and stale chapati. Poet hints at how nobody cares for him. Why poet uses weak tea, stale chapati, these words? Because by using these words, poet want to say that no one cares his father in his family. But still, father didn't have any complaint about his family members. As we see, he rather concentrates on reading. While having his tea, he was probably given up on expecting more care from his family members, but no one is there in the family to speak with him, to share his opinion. And so here we can say father felt lonely, or he felt alienated in his house. As in the last stanza we have seen, father was going very hurriedly towards his home. Why? Because he want to speak with his family members. He want to share his ideas. But when he reached at home, the different scenario is there in his house. He has to take that weak tea and he has to eat that stale chapati, but without complaining about his family members. Now next line, he goes into the toilet to contemplate man's estrangement from a man-made world. Now the speaker's father goes into the toilet with a thought of how man become isolated from the man-made world. Now here poet in the next line told us he goes into the toilet to contemplate. Contemplate means think deeply. He reached at his house, no one is there, he has to drink that weak tea, he has to eat that stale chapati, and so he was feeling very lonely. And then he started thinking about that particular situation, and in thinking itself, he went in a toilet. Now here, toilet symbolizes isolation of the father in his family. Okay, then toilet is used as a symbol of how small his world is. In house, the space for toilet is very small, very little, and his father, poet's father, he went in a toilet. It symbolizes that he has very small world like that particular toilet, and he felt alienation, he felt isolated in his house. And this line nearly sums up the theme of the poem, and this is the theme of poem. Isolation, alienation is one of the theme of this particular poem. The father is indeed aware of his extravagant situation, isolated situation. He felt very lonely and hopes to find some support in the family when he hurries towards his home, but the hope is diminished as he reaches and finds the same indifference there as he has in train while traveling. There are number of people in the train. People are traveling in a train, but no one is ready, no one is eager to speak with the father. And the same situation happens in family also. He reached very hurriedly to speak with his family members, but again no one is there. Moreover, the toilet might act as a symbol of how small his world has been. The toilet seems to be the only place man has to go to contemplate, to think deeply over his loneliness. Then we turn towards the next lines. Coming out, he trembles at the sink. Now he come out of the toilet and now he went towards the sink, and he was washing his hands. Why he went towards the sink? After coming out of the toilet, he went to the sink, he went to the wash basin and he started to wash his hands. But see the line again. Coming out, he trembles at the sink. Tremble means shivering. In Marathi, थरथरणे. त्यांचे हात काय होतात? थरथरत होते. Again, here, trembling of his hand describes the old age of father. Because of that old age, his hands were trembling. So, coming out, he trembles at the sink. The cold water running over his brown hands. A few droplets cling to the graying hair on his wrist. Father comes out from the toilet and goes to the wash his hand at the wash basin. Speaker observed him trembling at the sink at the wash basin when cold water was running down his brown hands. Now here he is trembling might be due to his old age as well as the coldness of the water and also the fearful thought of his isolation from the rest of the world. He has a fear in his mind about the isolation because when he reached at home, no one is ready to speak with him. घरी ज्यावेळेस वडील धावत पळत येतात त्यांना असं वाटतं की घरी गेल्यानंतर आपण आपल्या कुटुंबियाशी बोलूयात, गप्पा करूयात, म्हणजे तेव्हा घरी येतात त्यावेळी मात्र घरामध्ये त्यांच्याबरोबर बोलण्यासाठी कुणीही नाही. आणि मग घरामध्ये जो वीक असा टी आहे तो टी चहा ते घेतात, त्यानंतर शिळी चपाती कुठलीही तक्रार न करता ते खातात. त्याचबरोबर चहा घेत असताना ते पुस्तक घेऊन वाचण्यासाठी सुरुवात करतात. अगेन ही फील व्हेरी लोनली, एकाकी वाटते. अँड ही स्टार्टेड टू थिंक. आता विचार करायला सुरुवात केली. अँड वाईल थिंकिंग ही वेंट इन अ टॉयलेट. आणि मग टॉयलेटमध्ये गेले आहेत. हिअर टॉयलेट सिम्बलाइजेस स्मॉल वर्ल्ड ऑफ द फादर. टॉयलेट म्हणजे जणू काही त्या वडिलांचं एक काय आहे, छोटंसं जग आहे. अँड हिअर देअर ही स्टार्टेड टू थिंक. देन आफ्टर कमिंग आउट ऑफ द टॉयलेट ही वेंट टू द सिंक. ही वेंट टू द वॉश बेसिन. आता ते वॉश बेसिनकडे गेलेले आहेत टू वॉश हिज हँड्स. अँड ॲट द टाइम ऑफ वॉशिंग हँड हिज हँड्स दे आर ट्रिम्बलिंग. थरथरत आहे. थरथरणे हे कशाचं प्रतीक आहे? इट इज सिम्बल ऑफ अ ओल्ड एज. म्हणजे वडील हे सर्व कष्ट करून काम करून आता थकलेले आहेत, वृद्ध झालेले आहेत, हे त्या ट्रिम्बलिंग या शब्दामधनं लक्षात येतं. नाव वी टर्न टुवर्ड्स द नेक्स्ट. अ फ्यू ड्रॉपलेट्स क्लिंग टू द ग्रेइंग हेअर ऑन हिज रिस्ट. तर त्या रिस्टवरती त्यांच्या जे ग्रे हेअर आहेत त्या ग्रे हेअरवरती सुद्धा ते पाण्याचे ड्रॉप्स काय करतात, पडतात. अगेन हिअर ग्रे हेअर्स सिम्बलाइज फॉर द ओल्ड एज. ग्रे रंग जो आहे हा रंग कशाचं प्रतीक आहे? पुन्हा ओल्ड एज, त्यांचं वृद्धत्व याचं प्रतीक त्या ठिकाणी आहे. देन नेक्स्ट, हिज sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. Now whenever father reached at home, he expect his children must speak with him. They must share their opinions, feelings with their father. But unfortunately with this father this is not happen. Why? Because children were busy in their own work. They were not eager to speak with their father, and so his sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. So this is how there is a relationship between father and his family members. His bad-tempered children, father's bad-tempered children, refuse to share jokes and secrets with his own father. That said, they don't share a close and friendly association with their father. Rather, they regard him as an outdated, unwanted burden, though he seems to be the only earning member of the family. Father expects that his children must speak with him, but these children, they consider their father only as the earning member for their family. वडिलांना वाटतं की घरी आता आपले मुलं आपल्याशी चर्चा करतील, बोलतील, परंतु मुलांसाठी वडील म्हणजे कोण आहे? फक्त घरामध्ये कमवून आणणारे, पैसा कमवून आणणारे एक मेंबर आहे. नथिंग मोर दॅन दॅट. त्यापेक्षा जास्त काहीही नाही. He will now go to sleep. And then father went to sleep. आता वडील झोपायला जात आहे. Listening to the static on the radio. Here we are in the final stage of the poem in these lines, where we see the father going to sleep, listening to the radio and thinking of many things like his ancestors, grandchildren, and of the Aryans, the Aryans people entering the Indian subcontinent through the Sabo Pass in the ancient age, in the ancient time. Father expects his children must speak with them, but as no one is ready to speak with them, now father went to sleep. And while going to sleep, he started to listen the radio. And at the same time, he started thinking about his ancestors. Ancestor, वंशज, जे पूर्वज आहेत त्या पूर्वजांविषयी त्यांना आठवतंय. They have started to think about their grandchildren as well as the sound of the radio is even noisy. तो जो रेडिओचा आवाज आहे तो सुद्धा अतिशय मोठा आवाज आहे, खूप आवाज येतोय त्याचा. Giving another reference to the old man's miserable life. And when we have very noisy voice of that particular radio, we become uncomfortable, we feel uncomfortable. Again, here the sound of that radio indicates the isolation of father from his family, and he was leading miserable life. ज्यावेळेस असा कर्णकर्कश आवाज येतो रेडिओचा, त्यावेळेस आपल्याला फार त्रास होतो बघा. आणि तो रेडिओचा आवाजही तसाच चालू आहे. तो जो रेडिओचा आवाज आहे तो त्या वडिलांचं जे दयनीय असं जीवन आहे, जे कष्टदायक जीवन आहे, त्याविषयी वर्णन केलेलं आहे. Here he is dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren, gives the impression that he finds some solace in thinking about his past and future generation. He was thinking about his past as well as he is thinking about his future generation also. Now, society has changed since the ancient times when they had come here. Now, the Aryans here, poet used Aryans purposely to indicate how society changed after some time. Here I have written, here Aryans means it indicates how society changed from past to present. So, these are indication of the changes which took place in the society. In the past, how people were, they celebrate festivals with each other, or they take their dinner or they take their lunch collectively, gathering with each other. And so people were very happy in the past, but day by day there is change in the lifestyle of the people. People do not have a time to spend with their family members, and these old people from the family, they felt very lonely and isolated. So this is how about the second stanza from the poem Father Returning Home. Once again we will revise about the poem. Here in this poem, poet has highlighted the problem of old age people faced in the society. And this is an autobiographical poem by Dilip Chitre, because he has described about his own father in this poem. In spite of autobiographical significance, this theme applies the whole society, or we can say this poem has universal theme also, because this question is not from any single family, but the same problem we are facing everywhere, all over the world. And so this particular subject has universal appeal. Now, after studying this poem, we come to know this particular poem has various themes like alienation, or we can say isolation, or rootlessness, old age in modern society. This particular poem highlights on the problem of old age in modern society. Then cultural identity. We forget about our culture, right? We don't have a time to celebrate festivals with each other because everyone is busy in their own earning. So we forget about our culture, and here from the poem we come to know about our cultural identity. Then how there is a generation gap. Now, father who work hard for his own children, children are not ready to speak with their own father, means here we have generation gap, and this particular poem highlights on this issue also. Then future of individual in the city, very important point. Here we have seen, or we have given a description about the suburban commuter, and as these suburban people, they have to commute, they have to travel from their home to the workplace. While traveling, they have to face number of problems, number of difficulties. And this particular issue is highlighted through this poem by Dilip Chitre. So this is all about poem Father Returning Home. Here these points I have explained with the help of this stanza from the poem. So students, we will stop